you doing? Okay, I am no Wendy Williams. I am definitely myself. If you don't know who I am, my name is Elena Spratley. I am the founder and chief visionary officer of Infold Studios, which is a design and mindfulness consultancy that is focused on helping individuals and leaders and organizations with the future of life and the future of work. Welcome to an evolution kickoff. There's so many things. What's so funny is that I was so consumed with trying to get everything great for my very first YouTube stream that my keynotes, I updated my computer software. I did all the things and I'm like, where are my keynotes? So I'm going to grab those real quick. While I am grabbing my keynotes, what I'm going to share is that the evolution kickoffs happen every 2 weeks and they're here on YouTube so that you can access them. If you happen to not be able to join live, you'll be able to access them again. If you just want to do the meditation again that we're going to do, if you want to, just come back to this place. That's why they're here on YouTube. If you can join us live, it's great because then, you have a moment where you are connecting with somebody. Even though I'm not there with you physically in the room, we are connecting. Our energy is meeting each other through this virtual space. And I am here to be your facilitator as you journal your way into deeper understanding of what really came out of your week this past week and how do you want to evolve that going forward. So if this is your first time, make sure that you grab your journal, you grab something to write with. Let's say, get my pen. Grab something to write with and grab a beverage. Let's take a moment to kind of ground ourselves here. Okay. So if you have a beverage, go ahead, take a sip. All right, we're going to ground ourselves and come into this space. And the way we're going to do that today is just with a very simple breathing exercise. So you can choose to just relax your gaze or you can close your eyes and take a deep inhale through your nose and a complete exhale out the mouth. Inhale through the nose. Complete exhale out the mouth. And one more time, deep inhale. And exhale out the mouth. I hope that was helpful. If it was helpful, let me know in the chat. It's so happy to have you here. I'm just going to message in the chat. I'm so happy you are here. Share your name and location when you join. So share your name and location when you join. So then I know who's here in the room and I can we can do a little shout out for your city. All you needed was your journal because this is how it goes. So the way that these sessions work is that they're broken up into a few key segments. Of course, the first few minutes are about opening up this space, introducing who I am, what these evolutions are, the purpose of them, and from then we're going to move on into our journaling. So we're going to journal a bit of what we enjoyed, a bit of what we engaged, and it's just matter of fact, what happened this week? What did we engage in? What did we do? Maybe there's some things that new information that came out of there, and then we'll go into our enjoy journaling. In enjoy, you focus on all the things you really liked. What did you really enjoy? So that is the second journaling prompt. And then our third prompt is evolve. So in evolve, you're thinking about what do you want to change? What do you want to do differently? And it's a really great space to kind of like brainstorm how things could have been different. I'm actually going to break that one up into two pieces. You first are going to talk about the things that really didn't go so great that you'd want to see different, the things you'd want to evolve. And then we're going to take some time. Yes, and evolve them. So, if you've never engaged in journaling before, welcome to the club. It's pretty simple. You just share what's on your heart and your mind, because journaling is such a beautiful tool for seeing our inner world, our inner workings, the way our mind and our heart is going. So, we're going to start there, and I'll give you a little bit more information as we go. The other key things for you to know is that we're going to do a meditation together. We're going to do some intention setting, and then I'm going to share with you the intention for the next 2 weeks. It's your choice if you want to adopt it on for yourself. Highly recommend. Because it's really great when you have a little bit of accountability, and maybe you just happen to find this video and you just happen to find your way here. Nothing happens by accident. I really think that there's something about what you're experiencing and who you are that brought you to this page. So, you ready to get in to do some journaling? All right, make sure that you got your pen and your paper. And I'm going to be journaling along the way as well. So we're going to take about 5 minutes per prompt. And it's going to kind of be a quiet space for you. It's going to be a chance for you to go down deep inside of yourself. I'll give you some updates and reminders on, how much time you have left. But we're going to very much act like we're in a room together, relaxing, and just getting some good journal time in. So for the first prompt, go ahead and write on your paper, engage. Engage. So with engage, you are focused on noting all of the things you engaged with. Maybe there were some people, some places, some new possibilities and projects, but it's more of like this download of like, what actually happened over these past 2 weeks? And if you're feeling like, I'm not really sure what happened, I was trying to find my journal. Not my journal, but my calendar. Oh, it's over there. So a calendar is a really great way for you to recollect and bring back your memory. So whether it's on your phone or it's on an analog calendar planner, pull that out right now. And we are going to start with our engage journaling. So we got 5 minutes, and go ahead and start noting everything that happened. You can start with this week if that's helpful. Start with this week and then work your way backwards. You have about 3 minutes left. You're just writing down everything that happened these past 2 weeks. Once again, feel free just to start with this week, and then you can work your way backwards. We have 1 more minute. And I'm also putting the prompts in the chat, so if you forget, it's there for you too. All right, finish up your thought. You can always leave a little bit of space for you if you want to come back and finish up your notes and your thoughts. But I'm a big believer that the first things that you wrote down were probably some of the most impactful things that happened to you. So yeah, you probably did great with getting some good stuff down. I'm sure of it. If you're interested in sharing anything, maybe something that stood out to you as like something that you learned a lot from. The engage portion is really about learning and understanding in the Infold method: engage, enjoy, evolve. And so out of all the things you wrote down, what did you learn the most from? Let's take a quick little moment and like put a star next to 3 things that gave you a lot of really good information about maybe your situation, your life, and most importantly, yourself. All right. Now we're going to go on over to our enjoy. So with enjoy, it is all about taking note of what lit you up, what felt great. What were those things that happened that you were just like, oh, this is nice, or this is amazing. It could be on that spectrum. But anything that felt good, maybe there's a few things that you already wrote down in Engage that you're also going to note down here. That's a-okay. That's a signal. That's a sign. It came up to you as something that you engaged, and it came up to you as something you enjoy. So go ahead and start writing for the next 5 minutes about what you enjoyed about these past 2 weeks. Remember, you're taking note of what you really enjoyed this week. All right. So we're at the top of our time with the enjoy. And now we're going to make those little stars again. So, from the things that you wrote down, what were some of the things that maybe inform something, or really are those standout moments from the past 2 weeks? And take a moment to star those out. What's really, really stood out as a high point for you on this list? All right. Feel free to put in the chat. Is there anything that you'd like to share? Feel free to share in the chat if there's anything. And even if you're watching this as a recording, if there's anything that you're like, you want to share that you did this week, whether it was as simple as I got out of my bed and I made my bed this week, to as, over the top as like I moved cross country and started a new job. Like, feel free to put that in the chat. Anything and everything is fantastic. I want to be able to give you some pump ups and some kudos and some virtual high fives because you did that. Okay, you showed up and now you're here. So you deserve some really great praise. And how awesome is it to amplify something specifically? So feel free to share that in the chat. And we're going to move on to number 3. So prompt number 3 is, what wasn't so great this week? Maybe something felt a little off, or something didn't happen the way that you wanted it to. So what wasn't so great this week? And what would you, and maybe that's something you would like to see evolve. So what would you like to see changed and different going forward into the next 2 weeks, into the next evolution? Once again, we're going to take about 5 minutes for the journaling time. And I will let you know when your time is up. And when it's almost up, I'll let you know too. Got about 3 more minutes. What didn't go so great this week? What wasn't the best? Wrap up that final thought. All right. So once again, we're going to put some marks by the things that were most impactful. Just pick the 3 things that were the most impactful on this list. All right. Did you get your 3? All right, we're going to go into our prompt number 4. So now it's all about how you'd like to evolve. And it's all about brainstorming lots of really good ideas. I highly encourage you to start with those 3 things you just marked that didn't go so well. Maybe there's something that you could do to address it, whether it is now post, if it's something that's already happened, maybe you could reframe it. The practice of reframing is all about thinking about that thing in a different light. So maybe you had a car accident this week. Yeah, I went drastic, but maybe someone out there had a car accident or a little fender bender. And maybe the reframe is that, I'm grateful I'm alive. The reframe doesn't have to include the thing that's in it at all. It could be something that's a little bit more matter of fact or something that lights you up. And so take a moment we're going to take a moment and think about how we'd like to impact those things that didn't go so great. And this time's also great for just brainstorming flat out how you'd like to evolve. So if that includes how you want to become maybe more of a person that is proactive, or you want to become a person that is more consistent with the things you care about, you can be brainstorming the ways you'd like to evolve within yourself. So once again, I'm putting the prompt in the chat, and you can leverage that for a little bit more of reference as you're thinking about that over the next 5 minutes. You have about 3 more minutes left. Continue to brainstorm ways that you can address this week in a different way, a reframe, a new perspective. It could just be, something simple like, I want to smile a little bit more next week. Think of the different ways you want to evolve your experience going into next week. And if you need a little bit of data to inform your brainstorming, just flip on back to what you enjoyed and what you engaged in and the things you listed that you want to evolve. Got about 1 more minute. Sometimes you get to that point in brainstorming where you're like, I don't know. Maybe it's just a feeling, Sometimes you can just write down something you want to feel. All right. I think we reached it. All right. Now, once again, we're going to use our little stars. Put a mark by the 3 things you really think are going to be impactful and maybe transformative or just feel really great out of the ideas you generated. I'm just going to pick 3. All right, now that you have your top ideas noted, we're actually going to go into a little meditation. I was thinking about sharing with y'all first. Actually, yeah, maybe I'll do that. I'll do a share. It's kind of like an interesting kind of conversation that we have inside of these kickoffs. It's like a bit of time for you to connect with yourself. And then I definitely want to share with you all my experience of the last evolution because I think that there's a lot we can learn from each other through the experiences that we have. There's definitely always some resonance and connection there. So even if you don't live in the same city or place or same lifestyle as me, you could possibly relate to a few of these things. I know for myself in this last evolution, which was focused on appreciation, it was pretty easy to appreciate things, but I was actually having a really, really hard time. I was going through what I like to call emotional rollerblades, not an emotional roller coaster, because I knew I could take them off. I knew I could change my situation. I knew that I could make different choices. But I was keeping the rollerblades on. And just so you know, I do not know how to rollerblade. So this was a very challenging and tough and weird experience. I even got to the point where I was having nightmares. And I thankfully had like some really good conversations with my therapist. I did lots of journaling, and then I just connected with the people I needed to connect with and was honest about what was going on with me. And I feel like what really helped was that because I was doing this appreciation practice, I actually was telling myself constantly how much I appreciated that person all the time. And it almost like allowed this level of grace and this level of like connection and openness through the appreciation. If you're a part of the newsletter, the Infolding, I already shared this with you, but if you're not, let me put you on game. So from the work of Abraham Hicks, it is spoken and shared how appreciation is at the same energetic vibrational level as love. Appreciation is very much the same kind of recognition that God, Source, our Creator, gives to us. And so we're not here and God's grateful that we're here. God appreciates that we're here. And what I really love about that is that it's just a recognition and praise for existing and being as we are. And that's what I was doing, for the people in my life. And the mantra for the last 2 weeks was I honor what I appreciate. And so there was this level of not just appreciating people, but appreciating my life and honoring my life. And that was another thing that prompted me to have the conversations I needed to have, to make the changes in the ways I was relating to the world and relating to myself, and to step in to action, to step into that boldness. Because if I appreciate this life the way I say I do, then I'm going to honor it. And I was putting that into my brain all week through the mantra. So I hope if this is brand new to you, mantras and intentions, that this gives you a little bit of an idea in the middle of a real life situation, how impactful and how helpful it can be. I feel like once I started applying these to my life, I think it was about 2 years ago that I took on mantras and intentions changing every 2 weeks. And I knew that I wanted it to be integral and central to what I'm doing with Infold Studios, because it's something so basic that it shouldn't matter what someone's economic status is, what they do, who they are in the world. Everyone should be able to have access to this. And that's why I do these kickoff sessions. So I hope me sharing and opening up my heart a little bit is going to support you. If you want to hear a little bit more about what my experience was in these past 2 weeks, I'm going to go into a little bit of details around the experiments that I ran inside of the newsletter. So the newsletter is called the Infolding, and I'm going to make sure I'll update that description so that you have all the information below for the Infolding. The Infolding is a wonderful, mindful guide for experimenting your way through life. I feel like the way that I've encountered some of the most amazing things in my life was when I was experimenting. And so I want to just extend that wonder and curiosity to anybody and everybody that's interested in intentional, mindful living. Let's experiment, let's have fun, and you gonna find what the things for you and are for you and what's not for you. Because that's really what this whole journey is about, is becoming the people that we want to become. And experimenting and prototyping is the best way to do that. So the Infolding, that newsletter comes out every 2 weeks, coinciding with this kickoff, and you'll have an experiment in there every 2 weeks for you to run to learn a little bit more about yourself. All right, so now we're going to go into our meditation. So for our meditation, we're actually going to do a 10-minute meditation. That'll take us to about close to like 44, 45 minutes after our start time. And not 45 minutes, 55 minutes after our start time, and get us into the place of winding down. And so for this week, I'll be honest, I do not believe I have my inspiration notes that I wanted to have, but maybe, I wonder, maybe I could just like find something on my bookshelf to share as a little inspiration. So during this meditation time, you're just going to need to relax. You can put your paper and your pen down. What we're going to do is allow ourselves to be focused on what we want to evolve. So if you've been in an evolution meditation with me before, I'm actually changing it up a little bit. I want you to be able to focus as much as possible on relaxing, integrating in what you have chosen to evolve, those beautiful things you brainstormed, and then I'll be introducing the new intention and introducing the new mantra. So, yeah, it's going to be a really great experience for you to dream and visualize what these next 2 weeks could look like. All right, let's take a little sip. All right, get comfortable in your position. Start to relax your gaze. Just have your hands resting on your lap. Now we're going to do 3 really big breaths together, okay? So take a deep inhale through your nose and exhale out your mouth. And inhale through your nose and exhale out of your mouth. Deep inhale through your nose and exhale out of your mouth. Gently close your eyes. Take a moment and become aware of the sounds that you hear around you. Be aware of your context. Maybe you hear some cars outside, or there's someone talking in another room. Just allow yourself to be present with the sounds. Now connect with your body. What sensations or feelings are going on inside of your body? Connect and be aware. If you like, you can start at the top of your head, being aware of your headspace. Now scan down to your neck, down to your chest, that heart center. Just be aware of how it feels there. Down to your abdomen, your hips, now to your legs, and down to your toes. Just allowing yourself to be present. Become aware of your thoughts. Once the thought comes up, just be aware of it and allow it to float on by. Acknowledge it. Or I see you, and allow it to pass. Now connect with your emotions. How do you feel in this moment? Just be aware, no judgment. We're just connecting, becoming fully present with ourselves. Now let's take some time and think about those things that we brainstormed as a different approach to the next 2 weeks. Those ideas. Maybe there's some new ideas that come to mind. How would you like to evolve? Are you choosing to be more gentle with yourself? Are you being more thoughtful with your time? Is there a specific way that you are going to engage with a task? Just allow yourself to visualize and dream about how the next 2 weeks could look. How do you feel in your body? Who are you spending time with?